viewers, welcome yet again to a beautiful, amazing session that we are continuing as a part 2 of Victory Talks with Dr. Vijeta Sahai, and we have our esteemed guest, Ratina Swami sir, who is an expert in decoding the Ikigai and also founder of Midna Global. The first episode is available on all the platforms, and you can have a look and go through the I would say session. And yes, in this session we would be learning more about the process of decoding this magical process of understanding our own and getting our own answers. So, sir, my question to you would be how this process of decoding the purpose of a human life is helpful, and how does this process is being done at Midna Global?
Yeah, good question, Vijeta. Every nature's creation gives us some information about the in and out of the living being. For example, every vegetable or every creature in this planet has certain qualities that are very easily visible when an expert takes a look into it. For example, we go to a shop and buy lady's finger. An expert person would know how to identify the quality of the vegetables. Similarly, any living being or any creature, the expert in that particular field would know how to identify a race horse, how to buy a camel, how to buy a buffalo. All these species have certain qualities exhibited in them on the surface of their body, that if you are able to see their color, their texture, and some marks in their skin, one will be able to identify their inner abilities of the species or the creatures of nature. Similarly, even human beings are having some geometrical proportions in which the body, the human being is created. Okay, there are various ways that human beings' inner thing can be understood from the outer information that is available. Like when we say, by looking at you, I can tell you are happy or not happy. By looking at you, I can say you are a person who is going to cheat me, kind of thing. So there is lot of information that is available for people, and there are definitely many human-centric experts are there who can, just by interacting with you for a few minutes, they will tell you all the qualities that you are having. And there are the various methods are available, various aspects of human beings can be studied, and there is something called the body proportions, looking at their height, weight, and the structure of the person. Also, some inner information can be decoded. But here, the nature has given us the whole script. Okay, the whole script of the individual's inner design, or what we call the inner preferences, the structural preferences are given in our body as dermatoglyphics, are some patterns of the skin, out of which the patterns that are seen in the palm and in the fingertips have a higher information, or major information is stored or available in our information that is in our the lines that are seen in our palm and the lines that are seen in our fingertips. The lines which are seen in our palm is continuously going through changes, so it is not worth looking into it to have the read the information, because it is changing regularly. However, the information as fingerprints available in the tip of our fingers is quite static in nature. So if we can decode or understand the prints, nature of the prints, which are very unique for the human beings. Every human being has a unique pattern in the fingerprints. If we can understand, decode the fingerprints, a major portion of their brain performance, their brain outcome, their whole life experience can be correlated or understood by analyzing the fingerprints. So you can say the decoding of Ikigai is a plain fingerprints analysis, but we are focusing on how the brain lobes structure, architecture can be correlated. This has been a science for more than 5 decades. Lot of health abnormalities, brain abnormalities of individuals are decoded using this palm prints and fingerprints. So I would like to say for more than 50 years, health dermatoglyphics. Derma means skin, glyphics means pattern. So this healthcare dermatoglyphics is there for more than 5 decades, and it is widely accepted medically that the prints in in the fingers and in the palm has some significance with our mind architecture or the brain architecture. So from there, the extension of the medical dermatoglyphics is the current process what we call as genetic brain profiling. Genetic means that is inborn, that comes with us by birth. And brain is an organ that is formed during the pregnancy. From the 12th week to the 21st week, the architecture will be close, then the growth will happen. We should not get confused with the growth with the structure. The structure is the blueprint of the brain, which will not change. That is formed and completed between the 12th week and the 21st week. After 21st week, the number of cells will not increase, but the length of the cells or the size of the cells or the connectivity of the cells will grow. It will be like a small finger becoming a big finger, but it does not become multiple fingers because by birth, the number of fingers are 10. It will, the length of the finger will change, but the number of fingers will not change. Similarly, in our brain, the neuron numbers will not change, but their performance will change, their output will change, but their quality will not change, the quantity will change. I mean, the performance will change. So, genetic brain profiling is nothing but analyzing visually. The image is taken, the fingerprints are scanned in a high resolution scanner, and the images are taken, and we do an image analysis and convert the image into a data. Okay, so we can say image is a picture, and we convert the picture into a data that can be converted into a algorithm and give it as a data that can be presented for human beings understanding. So Midna is just converting one form of data information into another form of that information that can be easily communicated. So a visual information is now converted into a data, a numerical data or a pictorial data, and that data is being used for communicating to the individual what this report means and what are their genetically acquired interest, the talent, and the personality. These three things are rightly put in, success and satisfaction will naturally happen. So that is the small summary of the whole process called genetic brain profiling that is used to decode an individual's um, ikigai in short.
Very nice, sir. I would like you to throw some light on the focus areas in this process of decoding, converting the, I would say, natural fingerprints into a coding process. What are the focus areas in this code, decoding the process?
Yeah.
How it is done, sir?
Okay. So there are three components, major components that are analyzed and driven are taken as a data for making the algorithm, and ultimately it becomes a 3-page or 6-page or 8-page report depending upon the need of the individual's requirement and all. So the three components that are being focused, as you use the word, is the patterns are determining the personality. What is the personality of the person is determined by the pattern the fingerprints are naturally formed on the skin, because The genetic material, the genes, DNA, is making a brain. And when it makes a brain, it keeps a Xerox copy of the brain structure in the fingerprints for an external purpose. Actually, nature is giving us an opportunity to know. It is our ignorance and innocence that we are not knowing where is the answer. They are giving you the answer also. They are not asking a question. When you ask a question, the answer can be decoded by you only because it is available within your fingerprints. But because the language in which that fingerprints are there is not easily understood by the languages that we learn in the school and academical areas, we are just seeing it as just lines and it has no significance. So the pattern, the way the lines are formed, we call it as patterns. So we study the pattern, that is the first data, because there are multiple different patterns can be there, which are grouped into 5 major classes. That is why we call it as 5 personalities everywhere in the psychology as well. And the and the second thing that we are seeing is the number of lines that are forming the pattern. It is more like, first we are seeing whether they are males or females, the classification. And then we are seeing how many males are there, how many females are there. So the number of lines, we call it as, ridge counts. It is called as ridge counts or lines. How many lines are there in the pattern in the defined area? So we mark an area and count the number of lines that are present. And this is an indirect indication of the density of the performance or the neuron density in the brain, which contributes to the processing. Please remember, every human brain has 100 billion neurons, but they are not organized in a way to give 100 billion performances. No, it is not. It is like in a mobile phone. We may have 100 contacts, but how many contacts are regularly in touch with us is going to determine our networking ability. It's not the number of numbers that you have is going to make a difference. Number of people that you are contributing and contacting on regular basis is going to determine the outcome. So one is the pattern, how they are organized. And the other one is how many are there contributing productively or usefully. Okay, that is what is also very important. That is not unique for all of them. So everybody have 100 billion, but somebody have 40 billion contributing, somebody have 20 billion contributing, somebody have 80 billion contributing towards the cognitive performance. Every brain cell is being used, but how much is used for the cognitive performance of the brain, which ultimately determines the competency of the individual. So the second factor is how many lines are seen, or how dense is the number of lines seen in a given 1 square centimeter or a given specific area. So that is the second thing. And the third thing is, okay, we have found that they are performing. What type of cognitive performance they will perform much better is the third aspect that we are seeing. So one is the pattern, which is the personality. Second one is the strength. We call it as interest. And the third one is the way that interest is getting exhibited as competence. That is very, very important, because there are 2 types of cognitive performance is there. We call it as converging and diverging. Converging means exploring, finding the problems. Diverging means giving solutions. Human brain must have both of them. So we should know which one is more, which one is less. Is the converging more or the diverging more? This determines the human experience and what we can do in the life. So 3 aspects. One, the pattern is being identified. That is one input. The second one is number of lines in total. And the number 3 is how the total is getting distributed in the way they are performing. So that is how the category or the information is gathered and subsequently converted into a report that one can see and interpret it and explain to the customer or the client. Yes, Vijay.
Very detailed insight, sir, that we got, that how the study of different types of patterns is done and how the decoding happens.
Yeah.
Sir, no, I would like you to share with us on the requirement for this decoding, or why, as an individual, anybody should do this brain profiling, and why it should be, because it's advisable to start from the very beginning.
Right.
So why it is to be done for the kids who are growing up and who are just developing?
Yeah. Whether we are a spiritual body going through a physical experience, or we are a physical body going through a spiritual experience, well, whichever way we consider it, this is a journey. So every human being is born in this planet, lives for approximately 60 plus or minus 20 years, depending upon the quality of life they are going through. And living is not, everybody who is living is not living. There, some people are existing, because if you are not growing, that means you are going to the end point, that is the graveyard. So it is very important that every individual who come to this planet should know their life purpose, which we call it as ikigai. And the second thing is they should put that into practice and grow. They should grow personally, neurologically, at least at our brain level. We must evolve into a better individual during the journey. So we are given a time slot, okay, which is not fixed. If you study well, probably you will have more time. If you don't study well, maybe you don't have it. So we have a fixed time, uncertain time is there. During the time, we are also physically growing. Our abilities, physical abilities and emotional abilities and competencies are also continually changing. So in the given time, we should be able to have answer for 5 questions. If we know answer for the 5 questions, our life would probably go through without any shocks, frustrations, stress, and surprises, because we know what is the journey that we are going to travel. So in the 21st century, nobody is going to a new place without a Google map. So here also we have come to the new place where a lot of people are living and we are coming encounter here. We should know our journey as well. So genetic brain profiling is a map for a human life, compass for the journey that we are going to travel. Nobody would know our purpose and life and ikigai for us to help. So it is something we have to find out. So the 5 questions are: what kind of an academical pursuits I must, go through? That's number one. Number two, in that process, what type of educational choices I make so that I study something in which I am very good at. And number three, what type of career choices that I should make so that in the workplace I'm looking forward every day to go to the work rather than waiting for the weekends and holidays to come. And by you being a HR professional, you would know most of the individuals are waiting for their salary day to come, their holiday to come. They are not really, excited about their working day. This is something which is very naturally happening because of the challenge. So the third question you answer is which kind of industry, which kind of roles that I will suit very well. And the fourth one is what kind of relationships challenges I would have. Okay, like we all know, we have to live together and we have to die together in a relationship. So what kind of challenges that we need to prepare, anticipate, expect from us as well as from others. So that is the fourth one. And the fifth question that is answered is what type of a parent do I deserve to create one more child and do a parenting, or I myself is not going to be a great parent to nurture another generation to come. So the parenting challenges, the relationship challenges, the career challenges, the educational challenges, and the overall performance in terms of competency, what kind of competency, what kind of options I should choose in all areas of my performance, and that's again another question. If we know the question for this, answer for these 5 questions, I think we would have traveled our life, quite comfortably and without having any confusions in our journey. Yes, sir.
Very right, sir. What's the advisable age that as a parent should be approaching for decoding this?
Okay. Now if you ask me, I'll give a small comparative example. Suppose you are going to a movie. When should you go inside the theater? As soon as before the movie starts,
Yes.
isn't it? Okay. So for us human beings, the movie starts at the age of 2. Till the time we are all fed milk, and so we are extended soul of the parent or the mother. So I think 2 years is the right age if the child is not older than that. Okay. But having said that, because it's a concept which you are introducing, it is not that after that we cannot do. So to say, again using the same example, suppose you are late to the movie, go as early as possible and don't say, oh, movie must have already started. I don't want to see today. I'll come another day. I think you came to the theater by traveling, but it is not worth going back. At least go and see, enjoy the rest of the movie at least, even if you miss some of the earlier part, because sometimes you would have not missed much. There must be one song and a fight, and now you would say now the story starts. So it's all happens. So we shouldn't earlier we do it, better will be our life experience. That's the message. And by delaying we are not achieving anything. So I would say whenever the opportunity is available, reachable, I think we should make use of that, because it is done once in lifetime. So earlier it is done, you will have enough time to apply it and go through the experience. That is the benefit of this understanding, rather than waiting for by waiting you are not going to gain anything. In fact, you are more likely to miss out some application aspect by delaying. Yes, Ajay.
I agree, sir. I think that's what, when I did my brain profiling, I was still thinking, I am too much delayed, because most of the part of my career is gone. And yes, I'm now understanding what my life's purpose is. But yes, since then, it has been a very amazing journey, sir.
Great.
Okay. Sir, I would like you to share with the viewers and the audiences that what are the challenges that we as an organization are facing to make this decoding reach the masses, and what we as audiences can do to grow this concept and take it to the next level as banyan tree.
Yeah. Thank you. uh, there are three challenges for taking this project into one of the very popularly utilized tool. There are three challenges. First challenge is having a software that delivers the data analysis being done, and the data is converted into a usable information that people can interpret and communicate, so that the document becomes a manual and that is understood by the end user also. That's very important. You can't have one document that doesn't give you a complete picture. So you should have a good document, and that is what I call the physical aspect of the whole project, is having a report, and that is done centralized, and that is available using a system and a software. Individuals take their fingerprints through their counselors, and the fingerprints are uploaded in our website, and we download the fingerprints and generate a data and upload the report, and it is available to the counselor, and the counselor or the expert can download the report and convert that data into a conversation. That is point number one, which we are fairly we are the scaling up all can be done. That is not a problem. So one part of the challenge has been accomplished very clearly. No challenges at that. The second part of the challenge is it requires lot of competency and expertise in converting that data into a conversation. So the conversation is very important. The data alone is not producing any impact. It will be just like a newspaper. If you don't know the language, they are all just being a stationary waste paper. It doesn't become a usable one. So this document that is available as genetic brain profiling report must be converted into a conversation that becomes an emotional experience. That's very important. Because you are talking about the individual, you should be able to connect with their heart and able to communicate so that the impact of the conversation becomes the best. So we need human beings with a lot of emotions, emotionally connecting people. We generally call them as right brainers, and you are one of them. So when you are feeling that I must deliver the best thing to my client, I think the outcome of the report gets enhanced and gets increased impact also can be created. That is second thing. So my second challenge is to find this heart driven human beings, not the head driven human beings, because the report that does the head driven work, but the heart only can convert that report into a conversation that is emotionally satisfying and very impactful one. So I am just looking for the second challenge is find the right kind of experts who will convert this data into some divine message. It's not just a non-living information that you are reading. You are reading about somebody's internal information. You are just telling, so you are like a messenger to them. So that must be delivered in a divine way, in a very connecting way. That's very, very important. That is taking a lot of time because one individual cannot do more than 5 counseling in a day at the maximum. So if somebody has to reach more people, they cannot do it on their own. They have to have a network of supporting counselors and all. So building the human resources has been the second challenge, and we have started it reasonably well, probably over a period of time, including this kind of podcast. We will are expecting a lot of entrepreneurs, trainers, and professionals will come and take it as, because it's highly rewarding monetarily and otherwise. It's very rewarding profession and service. So that is the second challenge we have. The third challenge we have is the geographical challenges. Okay, we may be sitting in one part of the world and the other whole world has to be reached. So how to reach people who are far away is the third challenge. Okay, you can't create counselors and they can only geographically cover maybe few tens of kilometers. Beyond that they cannot go. So the beyond the physical and the emotional connecting local support or service, we have to go and become really a global service. Faraway places we need to go so that everybody gets benefited, the global in nature. Thanks to the technology and even I would say thanks to the pandemic, the online concepts have come, and we also have explored a lot of avenues there. So today I'm happy to say that we are able to do this service and help somebody to decode their ikigai, even if they are living in any part of the globe like Canada, US, Europe, anywhere, Australia. We have reached all continents, though not in big numbers, but thanks to this online platform and Zoom kind of telecasting and counseling, Skype, and there are so many video platforms available. So now the fingerprint scanner can be transported to them, courier to them, and we can from here using remote softwares we can take the fingerprints and do the counseling on Skype and video channels, and we can serve them. So nothing is now a barrier. So I think these two challenges are now complementing each other. Even with less number of counselors, we can geographically reach more. Because we are reaching geographically more, we might get more counselors to contribute. So I think this is a win-win, arrangement and support for us. So I guess maybe in another few years' time, this both together, this more counselors coming in, and we are able to do now training also online. So people can sit in their home, learn this wonderful tool, apply to their children and parents and their relatives, validate them. If you are 100% happy, convert into your free time, part time, full time, anytime profession, you can do it, and you can definitely make this, this tool, this magic, this spark, this fire to spread everywhere, to help human beings to know their ikigai before they go to school. Yeah, that's the ultimate thing that can happen. And once you have decoded, now you can plan your life. You can sharpen your tools. If you are good in something, you can earn money. If you are not good in something, you can convert it to a hobby if you want. You can sharpen them by going through some training programs. So Midna Global, in that MIDNA is the Midna, and Midna stands for Intelligences Decoded and Nurturing Academy, or associates or association. You can put it anything that is up to us. That doesn't matter. But we want to do the decoding and the nurturing together. And once you have decoded the Ikigai, you must have the right training opportunities for the children and the individual to overcome their challenges as much as they want, they desire to have it. Okay, though we can live a default design, but living a default design is what animals are also doing. Human beings are only having an ability to improvise, gross, professional, and self growth they can have. They can evolve into better human beings when they go to the graveyard. So you come and with a default design, but you can become an amazing personality before going to the graveyard. And for that, knowing is important, growing is important, so that you glow. So know, grow,
And
glow. If these three things can be done, life can be a wow experience, and you will definitely die happily and peacefully without any regret. That's assured. Yes, Vijeta.
beautifully explained, sir. Beautiful journey of detailed insights about what Midna is all about, growing and then glowing, uh, and becoming and blossoming into a beautiful human being. And this amazing journey that we have decoded today with your detailed insights of making that flower inside us blossom petal by petal.
Right.
And yes, I would give you lot of wishes to Midna and to your sincere efforts that you are making to make this available for all the human beings on this planet. And really the growth which has happened in last 1.5 year uh, through this online platform that is reaching across the globes and across the boundaries. So yes, Midna is already becoming a banyan tree, sir.
Thank
The
you.
small seedling which you had sown with the idea almost 10 years back has now not become a plant, but it is slowly and slowly, spreading its branches across, sir.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, sir, for sparing so much of insights and sharing with us deep insights. Thank you so much for your time. And I know that viewers will definitely be able to relate. And yes, I would request them all to visit Midna's website, subscribe to Sir's channel and also YouTube channel, and also connect with him on LinkedIn. So he's very, active on LinkedIn. So all the viewers, all the guests, all the podcast listeners, I would like you to connect with A. Ratina Swami, sir, on LinkedIn. The link will be in the description below. And thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time and insights, and good wishes to Midna.
Yeah, thank you, Vijeta. It has been a great session with you, and I'm so happy that I am able to share some insights on my personal journey as well as my professional journey. And I'm happy that I could decode my ikigai, and I'm able to help others also to do that. And I'm happy to be sharing my experience with you and the part of the journey that I am going through. And I'm sure the audience will be able to connect with this whole concept of Ikigai and definitely get benefited. And before I sign off, I would just like to say that Midna Global is conducting lot of awareness programs and training programs and nurturing programs. So do visit www.midnaglobal.com, or you can even come to the social media using the same Midna Global name. You will be able to, you can Google out Midna Global, you will definitely get more details. Uh, we are ready to help you with whatever knowledge and services that we are able to offer to you. Thank you, Vijeta, once again for giving this opportunity to be with your audience, and God bless you. All the best for the episodes to come and your service that you are doing. And I think you are right now in the right path to help people to find their victory. And I'm sure Vijeta means victory, and victory means Vijeta. All the best. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And yes, I would like to thank you, heartfelt thanks once again for being on this Victory Talks with Dr. Vijeta Sahai, and signing off for today. See you in the next episode.
Thank you.